Hello, my dears. Hello, hello. Okay, let's talk success habits today. Those achievable things, those effective ways that you can build your business. Okay. All right. I am your girl, LaShonda Henry, aka Sister Sense. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, my fellow bosses out there, women entrepreneurs, and guys too, looking to get clear about some things that you can do to work on your business with strategy and intention. So, today, what I want to do is to talk to you about 4 success habits in particular that you need to integrate into your business, because I honestly think that these are personally great. They work really well for me in my business, so I want to share them with you. Okay. Now, before we get there, let me start here and say this. Here's your word for today, right? So, my fellow entrepreneurs out there looking for a word this morning: nothing changes unless nothing changes, right? That's something that I need you to think about, right? Nothing changes. And I shouldn't say unless, I should say if. So let me roll that back, rewind, and come again. Nothing changes if nothing changes. There we go. If, not unless, okay? That is something that I really want to impress upon you today, because the reality is that as I'm doing this right now, we're 7 days into a new year. So let's be clear, the ball is rolling, the clock is ticking. And if you want this year to be your best year ever, if you want to elevate, if you want to fresh start your business or start your business, if you want to grow your business or scale your business, whatever it is that you want to do to build your best business life and self, you have to understand today, somebody write this down for me. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So one of the things that I want you to understand when it comes to success habits that you really need to bring in this year and really keep revving up every year is understanding the significance of you being the one who's in control, who's in the driver's seat, who needs to proactively become the change that you seek. You got to become it. You got to work towards it, because baby, it's not just going to happen. Okay. You got to make it happen. Okay. So with that being said, let's talk about that. Let's talk about changes and success habits and how you can start to actually actualize and manifest the kind of changes that you want in your life and in your business, right? I think I said to changes. I don't know. It's too early. It's too early in the morning. So, of course, make sure that if you're watching me live, or whether you're watching me live or via the replays, you say hey and let me know who you are. And of course, if you're catching me on the replay side, always remember to drop into the comment box, #replaysrock. And if this conversation around success habits is something that you feel like other people in your circle need to hear, share, or tag them here. Okay. Now, first thing that I want you to understand, okay, is that you've got to become more self-aware with respect to what you want. You just can't feel it. You got to speak it. You got to write it. You got to become it. So I have an iPhone, and I personally love that I can do notes on my iPhone. So whether you got an iPhone or an Android, whatever the case may be, open up your notes today, okay? Maybe sometime this morning. And I want you to make a list, a short list. Just don't self-censor yourself and don't overthink it. Make a list of what you want to change this year. Because again, let's be clear, we're on day 7 already, okay? Time is going. Make a list of what you want to change. What do you want to see that's different this year in your business? Okay, that's number 1, okay? People who are successful people are really good at making very clear lists of what it is that they want to see and then working towards the vision. Just that simple, right? Some folks, they maybe feel they want things to be different, but they haven't really articulated it yet. They haven't taken the time to sit with themselves and get clear about that yet, right? So that's the first thing that you got to do. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is something that I do consistently. This is what I call my checklist of changes, okay? So I want you to sit down, take a couple of minutes, make your own personal checklist of changes for this year so you can get clear about what you want, and then get in the habit of doing that consistently, checking your checklist of changes to see where you are, what you've done, and if there's anything that you want to redo. That's number one for you, okay? Your checklist of changes. What do you want to see change this year? Okay. Now, number two, what I want you to do is I want you to think about, okay, what do you want to do? What can you do within the next 7 days? What do you want to do? What can you do within the next 7 days to work towards change? Okay. Successful entrepreneurs, successful business people, they are very good about setting their weekly POAs, plan of actions. Okay. One of my favorite quotes is that the only time work comes before success is in the dictionary, right? You want to be successful, you got to work at it, which means that you've got to create a plan of action, your own personal POA playbook for the next 7 days. What are you going to do in this next 7-day period to get the ball rolling? I love that today is the 7th day of this new year. So from here, 7 days moving forward, what are you going to do next? Creating a plan of action. That's a habit that you've got to work on, creating week by week plan of actions for yourself. Okay. Now, here's the deal. When you think about the year and things that you want to change, those are elephantastic goals. They're big. They're freaking big, right? And one of my favorite quotes when it comes to elephants is, how do you eat an elephant? Somebody drop that in the comment box for me. How do you eat the elephant? One bite at a time. Right? So when you think about those big elephantastic goals that you want to change and see things differently, see things happen and look differently by the end of this year, that habit, writing your checklist, being more self-aware is number one. Number two, setting your weekly POAs so that you can break your elephantastic goals down into smaller ones that you do in 7-day periods. That's number two, right? Success habits, things that you need to do to work towards your goals. So right? What do you want to see? Write the vision and make it plain. Amen. For the next year. What do you want to see change? Number two, what do you plan to do over the next 7 days? Right? Creating your weekly POA. Where can you start today? Where can you start today? I love the quote. There are 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. Somebody write that down. There are 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. So you thinking that, okay, well, someday I'm going to get to build this business or start this business or take this thing to the next level. Someday I'm going to find the time to write that book. Someday I'm going to find the time to finish that course. Baby, there are 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them, because you're going to someday yourself to the end of the year. And let's be clear, you don't want to get there and feel like you are full of nothing but regret. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Think about how much regret. Real talk. If you got any regret about things that you didn't do last year, can you just real talk it? Can you just check in with me and say, "Ooh, girl, you speaking a word right now. Here are a couple things that I said I wanted to do and I didn't get to do last year." We don't want to do that this year. So you've got to implement these success habits that are going to get you to where you want to be, right? This is what this business breakdown is all about this morning, right? So you've got to work on these are things I want to change, your checklist of changes for this new year, habit number one, and then check that checklist consistently. You do that by habit number two, setting your 7-day weekly POA plan of action playbook, right? This is what I'm going to do in the next 7 days to work towards some of these changes, right? And then you start with your day by day success. Success, one of my favorite quotes. The success is the sum total of the things that you do day in and day out. I'm going to repeat it again. Success is the sum total of small efforts, because I didn't say that the first time. Success is the sum total of small efforts repeated day in and day out, which means that every day you got to figure out, what am I going to do today to work on this POA plan of action for the 7 days that I've got this window in right here. These next 7 days, what am I going to do today? So as you're listening to me, whether you're listening live or via the replay, I want you to think about, and feel free to share with me some of the changes that you want to see in your business this year. some things that you want to work on this week and where you are going to start today. You got to get into the habit of day by day working on these elephantastic goals, because there's no other way to get to where you want to be with respect to your definition of success other than to work at it. Okay? Other than to work at it. So one more success habit and then I'm off. I'm off to the races to do my thing, do my day, dominate the day, right? The last thing that I want to say to you is this, or rather I want to ask you, because these are questions that you need to ask yourself, right? The last question is, do you feel like you're in a rut? Do you feel like you're in a rut in your life? Do you feel like you're in a business rut, right? You feel frustrated, you feel fatigued, you have no energy, you feel like everybody and everything is taking up your time, your business is not where it wants to be. Do you feel like you are in a business rut? R-U-T. You can feel free to drop that into the comment box for me and say, look, rut, for real, hello, right? Drop rut if you feel like you're in a rut, okay? The last habit that I'm going to share today is this. One thing that I personally strategically do that I want to share with you is I intentionally replace ruts with routines. See, a lot of people are overthinking and underperforming. They're all up in their head. They all up in their feelings because they feeling they're not where they want to be. They're not happy. And in that space of a rut, you waste time. And time is precious, baby. Because you can always make that money, honey, but you cannot bring back the time that you've lost. So one of the things that you got to do is you got to replace those ruts with routines. So I don't know if you've heard about it. I've got a program. It's called the Dominate Daily Implementation Program, DDIP, over at sistersense.com/DDIP. Okay. I share that with you today because for 365, it's a 365-day program. You start today, you start on day one. So you don't miss anything. When you start, it starts, right? But one of the things that I've been talking about inside of DDIP recently is understanding how to work on your routines, because better routines are going to lead to better results. And at the end of the day, successful people, effective people, they have routines that work for them, okay? If you got random routines, you got random results, right? So I want you to think about that. How can you get into the habit of really checking those changes, but also checking in with yourself with respect to the things that you're doing on a routine basis, right? One of my favorite messages is some people, they choose Facebook over focus. Some people choose Netflix over next level. Some people choose someday I will versus today I must. And so if you're in a rut, can we check you for a second? Can we check you and see if you choosing Facebook over focus? If you choosing Netflix over next level? If you choosing someday I will versus today I must? Yeah, you're going to stay in a rut because nothing changes. What? If nothing changes. So to replace the rut with routines means you're going to get into the habit of taking action and doing things daily that are going to help you work on the changes that you wish to see in your life and in your business. So last thing that I'm going to do with you today, because I shared with you 4 questions around 4 success habits that you really need to be integrating into this year, is to simply share what I'm doing, right? Because this business breakdown, I lead by example. Okay. So first thing that I like to do is think about, well, what exactly am I going to do today? Right. So I've got a short list of things that I need to do to work on my goals for the week. Right. So one of the things I'm doing today is later on today, 1 p.m. EST, I have day number 2 of my Launch with Leads 7-day challenge. It's an absolutely free challenge over at sistersense.com/LWL, which stands for Launch with Leads. And I'm doing that this week, right? So I'm on day number 2, right? And you can sign up for it, the sistersense.com/LWL Launch with Leads. That's what I'm doing. That's one thing I'm doing this week, right? And every day I'm doing the trainings for that, right? That's one thing. Today, I also have my mastermind, and every 2 weeks, I do a live mastermind training. Tonight, I'm doing the first one of the new year, of the new decade over at Sister Sense, my Firestarter Circle mastermind. And tonight, I'm teaching a training on ConvertKit. So I've got the things that I do on a daily basis, plus the things that I do bi-weekly. My mastermind is every 2 weeks, right? Number 3, on Saturday, I have my firestartyouryear.com. Because if you go there, you'll learn more about the firestartyouryear.com experience. Every year in January, I have a North Carolina workshop. And then I also have a webinar workshop. The webinar workshop is one day and it's happening on Saturday. So I can talk to you about your revenue, your reach and routines. We can create a digital product and work on really mapping out your agenda for the year, plus things that you can do to firestart your year, plus firestart each day. Okay. So the firestartyouryear.com, that's what I'm doing on Saturday, right? And then when you think about it, I've got that as not just something that's coming up this week, but it's a seasonal thing. I do it every single year. MLK weekend is when I have the NC workshop. And then I also have that webinar so that the people who can't come out and work with me in person, they can participate in the virtual version. Right? So what are you doing on a quarterly basis, annual basis, monthly basis, weekly basis, daily basis? This is me letting you know that these are some of the routines that I do to grow and scale and stay consistent in my business. So tomorrow is Wednesdays. Wednesdays, I do my office hours when I have clarity calls and clients, they come in. Well, not they come into me, my office here. They get on clarity calls with me and we talk one-on-one about their business. I do that on Wednesdays specifically, right? So I've got these different routines that work for me. I want you to think about them as examples, but also motivation so that you can check your routines and you can start to replace some of these ruts with routines. Right? What are some things that you want to see change? Which means what are some things that you need to start doing on a weekly and daily basis so you can work towards those changes and have some routines that become your habits. Okay? Routines that become your habits. So hopefully this has been helpful to you today. If anything resonated with you in some way, feel free to drop that into the comment box for me. That's number 1. Number 2, a word that I want to share with you, right? For my fellow Black women entrepreneurs out there looking to get clear about moving forward. I very much believe in motivational quotes and affirmations and messages. So today, here's my affirmation for you, right? Somebody write this down for me. Today, I will make a change. Today, I will make a change. Write it down. Number 1. Number 2, if there's a particular affirmation, right, that particularly moves you, because as a Black woman entrepreneur, I'm always looking to pour into others. And then I have to fill my cup up too, right? Right? So taking advantage of affirmations and positive messages. If you've got one in particular that you can share with me, feel free to drop that into the comment box. What's an affirmation that moves and motivates you to maintain your momentum, right? Today, I will make a change. I want you to think about that, breathe that in, and take action. Now, I do have something, it's called the Good Morning Girl Boss series for my fellow bosses out there who are looking for a little bit of morning motivation. So outside of what I shared with you today, I'm actually going to take you inside of the Good Morning Girl Boss series. So every day, it's a 31-day motivational journal, which you can find over at sistersense.com/GMGB, which stands for Good Morning Girl Boss. So if you say, okay, today's the 7th, then you can read the message for the 7th, okay? Bloop, bloop, bloop. So, and there are also just beautiful Black girl magic photos in there. Absolutely loved creating this particular journal last year. And there's a virtual version that you can print out as well. So let's dig into day number 7's message. Okay, I'm going to share that with you, and then we're going to wrap up for today. So for day number 7, I know the glow up is real with the ring light, but you get the deal, right? You are enough, boss. Even if you feel like you are missing something, right? Even if you feel like something is missing within or around you, know that you actually do have everything that you need in this moment and time. And everything you will ever need will come to you in divine right time, so long as you keep doing the things you have been called to do. The only thing missing today, boss, is more of you. That's important for you to understand, because folks, sometimes when you in a rut, you hide, you go dark, you are invisible. Somebody out there is waiting for you. Your calling is waiting for you. Everything that you need, you got inside of you. So you need to stop blocking you and move forward. You are enough. The only thing missing today is more of you. So please do not be MIA. Please do not be missing in action today. We need more of you. So what you going to do to make the change? What you going to do? So that is it, my dear. Again, hopefully this has been helpful to you today. I just kind of wanted to share a message to you from the Good Morning Girl Boss Journal right here. And of course, for those of you who are looking to consistently get clear, I do invite you to become a part of DDIP, my Dominate Daily Implementation Program, over at SusanSense.com/DDIP. So that literally for 365 days, if you say yes today, we start on day one. And every day I check in with you and I give you little action steps, things that you can do to move forward. Because again, ain't nothing going to change but the day unless you make a change, right? Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. Alrighty, my dear. Till next time, take care. Mwah.